clear. This is Eagle's Nest. Fort Stewart will guide you down. Over.
Roger.
Listen up. We'll be landing at Fort Stewart shortly. This is the first Antarctic mission for the Marine Special Forces Recon. Don't let your guard down. Follow your training, and you'll make it back alive. Semper Fi! Go out there and show the world what Marines are made of.
Yes, sir!
Our mission code name is Cold Limit. Check the mission data on your wireless terminals.
Yes, sir!
Extermination, developed by Deep Space in 2001 for the PlayStation 2. A group of United States Marines is on a secret mission to investigate an Antarctic base, but suddenly, one of the engines explodes, forcing them to evacuate. Two of the Marines, Dennis and Roger, land just outside of the base and make their way inside. What they find is a facility in ruins and an organism both mysterious and deadly waiting for them. Extermination is a third-person survival horror action game where the player must navigate this maze-like facility and discover the truth behind this infestation. You play as Dennis, a United States Marine and one of the worst actors on the planet.
I knew you were here before I came. I was concerned for your safety.
One of the first things to note about Extermination, and one of its best features, is that all of the weapons in the game are combined into one weapon. You start the game with the SPR-4 assault rifle, which has two different firing modes, single shot and 3-shot burst. But as you play through the game, you can unlock different attachments, such as a scope mount, and also you can mount a shotgun on it, a grenade launcher, a flamethrower, and so many other things. You can also find items to upgrade your maximum ammunition count, which your weapon can also be refilled at little kiosks. Mind you, this will only work on the assault rifle and not on any of your other ammunition such as the shotgun and flamethrower. The controls for Extermination are a little clunky. Moving the control stick around feels fine, but when you're trying to position yourself at just the right spot, it seems to just flail about. Also, you cannot control the camera with the right analog stick. The right analog stick doesn't do jack shit. You have to center the camera back on your back with the L1 button, which can get really awkward, especially in a combat situation. Combat in Extermination can be fun, but it can also be very, very frustrating. Aside from your gun, you also have a combat knife, which can be very, very useful, but aiming it is very tedious. But at least it kills the little slug enemies in one hit. When you aim your gun, you automatically snap to the nearest enemy, which is cool, but there are certain enemies that you have to hit a weak point on, and your gun will aim dead center on them and not on the weak point. And moving the control stick around can get really, really finicky. The jumping can also get very awkward in Extermination. You can't jump normally, but when you're faced with a gap or a crevice, pressing the X button while running at it will jump over it. But there's no real levels of jumping. There's either nothing or a full-blown fucking leap. So sometimes making precision jumps can be a real chore. When you start the game, you get a battery which has 6 units of power. This battery is used to power things such as save points and various doors throughout the game. You always have to make sure to keep your battery charged, because nothing sucks more than getting far in the facility and then you don't have enough battery power to open a door and you have to run all the way back to the last charge point you found. One other thing you have to worry about in Extermination is the infection level. Every time you get hit by an enemy, your infection goes up. If the infection level reaches 100%, then your health will begin to gradually decrease until you die and become one of the creatures. You can fight this off with vaccines you find throughout the game. At certain save points, you'll find these little medical beds that you can use the item on, and it will cure your infection completely and heal you full. One thing you'll notice playing Extermination is it's very, very similar to the 1982 film John Carpenter's The Thing. From the atmosphere, the music, and even the story, it shares a lot of similarities. Honestly, I don't have a problem with that, because The Thing is one of my favorite movies of all time. Even with its issues, I still enjoy Extermination. It's a fun little game that has some very, very unique features. I would really like to see a game use the single weapon feature again, where you just start the game with one weapon and just add shit to it. It's very, very unique, and I really, really like the idea. You can find this one for dirt cheap, so if you stumble across a copy of it, go ahead and do yourself a favor and pick it up. You won't be paying much for it, and you might have a good time. Well guys, that's it for this episode of the 31 Games of Halloween. Please leave a like and a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and please share with your friends. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this episode of the 31 Games of Halloween, and I will see you tomorrow for day 25. Have a good night.
It's the least that I can do for Andrew.